Hello, it is such a beautiful evening here that I thought I would do today's workout out on the lawn. And I tried to find the flattest area that I could. And now that I'm sitting here, I'm realizing I'm on a slight slant. But hey, all good. We'll see what I can do. We are in our third week of Transform in 4 challenge. And we are going to focus a little bit on stability and mobility. And I've touched upon that in the last 2 weeks, where you've heard me cue the more that you stabilize, the more mobility you'll have in whatever is the moving part. So we're going to play with that a little bit today. It'll be kind of fun, and hopefully you'll feel like really good. All right, so let's get started. I'm not going to use any props today, so it's just going to be you. We're going to start actually seated upright right now, and I want you to place the soles of your feet together and then just sit upright as much as you can. And you're kind of feeling your soles pressed together and down, so you can activate the sides of your thighs, and then just hold kind of basically your shins. And as you hold your shins, it's going to help you feel the arms on your back. So kind of press into the shins to feel your back, and then draw your ribs in and sit up tall. And we're just going to breathe here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the nose or the mouth. And really feeling the breath being sent to your ribs and your upper back. Sort of the lower lobes of your lungs are getting air. And then on your next inhale, you're just going to pull your waistband back. Feel the longest flexion that you can make. So we don't want to sink into this. You're still trying to keep that length in your spine as you inhale. And then exhale, come up top. And we're going to draw it back, inhaling. And exhale. 2 more. Now on your next inhale, we're going to press the chest open. So push the chest open, feel your heart lift up to the sky, inhaling. And now as you exhale, come back to center and flex it back. So we're going to get a little bit more range of motion now. Inhale as you come up, send that heart open and up. And exhale. We're just getting some mobility through the spine as your lower half just stays stable. So really anchoring the sitting bones, even as you kind of flex, you'll feel like a little release off the sit bones, but we don't want to overdo that tuck. And feel that stretch along the upper back. One more time as you inhale, and then come to center. I want you to reach your arms forward, and then you're going to reach your arms up to the sky as you inhale. Inhale here, feeling how the arms reaching up to the sky create more length in your spine, and then exhale as you circle it around. Inhale, lift those arms up, pull your belly in, feel length in your spine, and exhale as you kind of just let it circle around. And all I want you to do is feel how the attachment of the arms on your back will help you get more length in your spine. And we'll use that as we get more into the exercises today, but really feeling that. Feel the power of your legs. You're pushing into your feet are lightly pressing down so you can stay active in the hips. One more time. So everything's working here. As you lift, stay lifted as you bring your legs together, and then just circle those arms around, reach them in front of you, and draw your waistband back. As we draw the waistband back, you're inhaling, and then exhale. I want you to just dive your body forward. Your feet are anchored now, okay? Use your feet as your anchor, and that will be your guide in how low you go. Your hips are pulling together, so feel the outer hips wrapping inward. On your next inhale, roll back, hold it there, and then exhale, just float the arms up. Just feel them float and feel how that really works your center. Bring them back down on an inhale. Exhale, float back up. Feel the work in your belly. The arms stay on your back. And the more that you lift those hands up towards the sky, the more you're going to have to work your center. Good. And then dive your body forward. And now let's go all the way down till you're lying down on the mat. Good. Take your feet in. Now I want you to really anchor the feet and anchor your pelvis. Anchor your arms and your upper back, okay? We're going to roll the pelvis and lift up. And then all those parts that are like pressing into the mat, they are stabilizing into the mat and they are keeping those body parts in place. Feel your tail reach through your knees. Now you're going to mobilize the spine. The spine is going to go down, but everything else has to anchor into the mat in order to really get the juiciness out of it. So again, we roll that pelvis, we press it through the knees, and then we roll it down. Notice how the more that you stabilize and anchor, the more mobility you get in that spine, the more control you have in the spine, the more muscles work, the more the body works uniformly. One more time. Now reach those legs long, heels together, wrap the hips towards each other and really anchor the heels and the back of the pelvis. We're going to stretch our arms back behind us. Take an inhale here. Exhale as you just flex your body up. Look at your toes and we'll do our 100 here. You're going to pump those arms. Inhale, exhale. Now, keep breathing. Give me 9 more breaths as I talk to you. What's anchored here? Well, the heels, they press down and together. Your hips press down and together. Your belly pulls in. So this kind of waist down is really anchored, okay? And the more you can anchor that, the more you might be able to lift that upper body. You don't want to come past the shoulder blades, so we're not coming up here. You want to pull it back so those lower ribs are down. Those arms stay on your back. So when we pump the arms, we're not wobbly in the shoulders, right? That loses its efficiency. You're pumping from your back. Those arms are on your back, okay? When you've hit your 9 breaths, we're going to roll down and you're going to reach those arms behind you. Flex your feet now, but the heels haven't changed. They stay anchored and together. We're going to lift our body up again, keeping that lower half anchored. And now I want you to continue to curl, but you're anchoring that lower half. So notice what's happening in the pelvis. Maintain the butt bones and the tailbone down. If they lift and come off the weight, you've then lost that anchor of the legs. So we want to lift up over those hips, keeping them as they are, and then you draw the belly back. Keep those legs anchored, heel to hip, as you bring it back down and reach. All right, so play with that a little bit. Really finding mobility in your spine as you dive it over your lower half. Seal into your midline as well. That's going to help you anchor. So we're pulling inward as well as anchoring downward. You're also reaching through those arches. So yes, they're pressing down and together, but there's also this feeling of reaching. So when you look and you look at yourself in the mirror, it may look like all the legs are doing are staying still. But in order to create that stillness, right, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of different energies, pressing down together, reaching forward. Now, as my legs reach forward, they're anchored at the hips, and I dive over that. So they're pressing down and reaching, but they're not moving, but it creates more work. Like, do you feel all those muscles really working together? Let's do one more. Good. Now, sorry, I keep messing with this. You're going to roll down through your spine, and we're going to do our leg circles. So you're going to reach one leg up. You're going to anchor that bottom leg. So this is all about stability. Really anchor, and that gives you more freedom to circle this leg. And we're do 5 in each way. Pull that waistband in. And then we'll go 5 the other way. Go ahead, just hug that hip in, give it a little release. All right, slide it down and anchor that side. to lift the other one. 5 each way. So we're still using what we've learned the past 2 weeks, right? The stability mobility still works. All the other principles we've sort of worked on. And then we go the other way. And notice the more you stabilize, can you get more freedom in this moving leg? When you've done your 5 in each way, just go ahead, hug it in. We're going to come up for a roll up. So anchor the legs and the pelvis. Curl it up. Keep that pelvis anchored as you dive it up and over and roll it up. All right, so now we've got our rolling like a ball. This is fun because it's basically everything stabilized. But as I said, when we stabilize, it's not like we're just hanging out, right? Everything's working. So elbows wide, push the shins in the hands in the shins. Draw your belly in. If you kind of press into those inner thighs, push inward, the inner hips are working. Put your hands in your outer hips are working. So get all of that working, and then the waistband pulls you back, and you come up in balance. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You got 2 more. I think I'm rolling uphill. I can't tell. It just doesn't feel flat. And now roll back and find your chest lift. Okay. So pelvis is anchored, chest is lifted. One leg in, one leg out. Pull, pull. So now we're anchoring the pelvis. We're anchoring the upper body as we just have freedom to switch the legs because everything in that upper body is keeping you stable and anchored. Stable and anchored. Good. We're going to go into our double legger. So pull in, we reach, we wrap it in. Inhale, exhale, reach and pull. Okay. Now reach those legs up. Okay. You're going to grab one shin and the other pulls away. And now we just kind of pull this front leg. 1, 2, switch, 1, 2. And really reach those legs up towards the ceiling as you keep that upper body anchored. All right, we're going to do double legger. So both legs reach up, hands behind the head. Push the head in the hands in the head. Feel that upper back stabilizing. Reach those legs away. We've done this a ton. Reach away and bring up. We haven't done this exercise necessarily, but you've had that leg reach. We're reaching away. And we reach away to pull back in, and that pelvis stays stable. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. Reach and pull, bend it in, we crisscross, and that pelvis is the anchor. That's what's stable. The more we can stabilize it, the more twist we can get. Armpit to knee. Good. And then just hug it in and roll yourself up. Good job. All right, so now we have our spine stretch forward. Your heels go to the outer edges of your mat, and I want you to anchor the heels, the hips, and the butt bones as you sit tall. All right, and we take an inhale here, and exhale as you go up and over. So what's stabilized? Just think of that in your mind's eye. At this point, you probably know, but let's go over it. Heels, back of your hips and thighs, and your butt bones. But remember, you also have the outer hip, right? That's pulling in to help you get more lift out of this. One more time. Good. We come up, arms reach out wide. Let's take our legs just a smidge wider than our mat. We rotate and dive it. Come on up into your twist. Rotate and dive. Up in that twist, rotate and dive. You got it. So really keeping that anchor so that we can get that upper body mobilized. One more. And release. Awesome job. Let's turn it. Okay, so now, even though we're facing the mat now, that idea of the pelvis anchored doesn't change. So it just feels a little different. You're still reaching through the tail and drawing the belly in towards your spine. feet are anchored and you're in that parallel, we're going to start to lift the upper body as that lower body stays anchored. But what's going on in that lower body? It's still super active, even though it's anchored, right? And lower down. Inhale, feel those arms on your back. Your arms are also stabilized on your back. So the only thing moving is your spine. Shoulders are anchored, pelvis is, feet are, arms are. That spine is doing the work. We're trying to feel the flexion in the opposite direction. So if you have a hard time coming up for your 100 or doing that ab series, the more you can extend your spine and get stronger that way, the more your flexion will get stronger. Got to strengthen the spine in all directions. Good. All right. Come here. We're just going to sit back for a little stretch. And let's go into our single leg kick, right? So single leg kick, the whole body is stabilized and we're just doing a little bend at the knee. All right. So fist down, forearms down, and then just kind of keep those arms on your back. Notice what happens when you let the shoulders shrink, right? And you let them come off your back, how that feels. And then there's all this mobility going on. You want to really keep it stable, right? So you're strong. And now as you press your chest open, lift your belly to your spine. And your hip tips right here, right? They kind of like pull up towards your chest. All right. So spin those inner thighs so they're up to the sky. And I want you to kick one leg like you're folding it at your hamstring. It's a little hamstring curl. 1, 2. Other side. Kick, kick. And we're not moving at all in the rest of our body. So it's not a kick, kick where the whole body moves. You got to hold it still. The more you hold it still, the more you get out of that kick. Stability, mobility, baby. All right, one more each side. Awesomely. Okay, sit it back. Good. All right, so now let's get some side kicks in, okay? So as we go on our side, you're lining up in the back of your mat, and then let those legs come towards the front of your mat. So you can really anchor this upper half. This upper half is what's stable. Heels line up the hips. We don't want to be leaned back, so everything's lined up. Bottom hip anchors as you lift that top. So we're really keeping ourselves stable here. And we're just going to kick, 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 kick. And feel free to put that other hand behind your head. This is the shirt that works the lips, so I'm not going to put my hand behind my head today. But just really feel the anchor, right, of that top half of your body, of the bottom leg. So we have freedom to move this leg, reach and kick. Okay, now take the heel on heel, keep that leg turned up. We point and flex it down, really reaching through the leg. 2 more. And then hold it up hip height, press it behind you, stay long in your spine, 5 circles, and then 5 circles the other way. I love it. Come up, just give yourself just a little side bend as we then go to the other side. All right, so line it up with the back of your mat. And then we want a little base of support here. Okay, really finding length, elbow, shoulder lined up, heel on heel, hip on hip. So anchoring that bottom leg, lift it up, reach it longer than your bottom leg, and we kick, 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 kick. And what's happening with the rest of your body? Is it stable? Hopefully. Feeling that reach and just tune inward, feel your body, and take note. Is it telling you? What do you need? And then heel on heel, keep that leg turned out. We flex and we point and flex. Point up, flex down, really reaching it, keeping your hips stacked. My hip likes to go back on this one. And then lift, press it back behind you, stay long, and 5 circles. Circle the other way. Yes, good. Come on up. Give yourself a little side bend. Beautiful job. We're going to go to all fours. All right. I love planks. One day you're going to say the same if you don't yet. All right. Because planks take into consideration everything you've learned so far. So let's take that into this practice today. So widen those fingers, get those hands underneath your shoulders. So let's do all fours on the knees right now. And I want you to really get all fours even. So put power in the knees and the feet. They help support you as well. It's not just all in the arms. All right, your arms are on your back. So as you hold yourself here, I want you to take your right foot and just press it back behind you and try to put equal weight into all 4 points again. Knee and foot now, right? And then it's like you're standing in this leg. I want you to lift the other leg and seal your heels together, like you're pulling your ankles towards one another. And really get yourself standing in your feet. And then pull your belly in and feel power of the pelvis. As the hips sink in, they pull into your midline, and then you have the arms on your back, so the support in your back. So you got your back, power of the pelvis, and your legs really holding there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send those knees down. Give yourself a little stretch back. Good job. All right, so now what I want you to do is you're going to go back to sort of all fours. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand and your left knee and line them up. And then turn that leg and pivot and hold here. So normally we come up from a kneeling position, and we just did this coming from a plank position. So see if that feels different than what we normally do. All right. So I want you to really hold here and feel the power of the pelvis. Feel this leg also supporting you. All right. So then you're going to lift your body and look down towards the floor. And then you're going to come back and hold that. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to go up to all the toes as well. And we're going to do like the same thing. The hand goes into the center, and now we just pivot turn. And I want you to feel the feet as much as the hand. Feel that pelvis supporting you, arm up, and we just side bend. Turn it and hold it. Yeah? All right. You stay there. I'm going to spin it around so I don't put my back to you. So we're now going to do it on this side. So find all fours and on your knees first. Right hand, right knee line up. You just pivot, turn that knee, come here, right? And now you're kind of getting your power to the pelvis, foot and hand got almost equal weight. It's hard when your knee's down. Your knee's going to take the brunt of this leg, but just the idea of trying to put a little bit of pressure in that straight leg too. Yeah, you got it? And then pivot, turn, and there we are. Okay, so now we're going to go into that plank. So you come up, you hold your plank, find that really working. Right hand comes into the center, you pivot, turn, and you hold yourself here. Okay, really stand in those legs, lift the arm, look down, come back to center, drop the knees, and send it back. Good job. And then just roll it up through the spine. Okay, how'd that go? I ended with those planks on purpose because I wanted you to see how you kept the whole body stable and how much work that takes. But we also warmed up those muscles throughout this routine. So hopefully you could engage maybe a little bit more than normal for your planks, and just always know, and I didn't really cue that as we were doing it, that you can do them on your knees. So those knees is just as much work as the toes. You're just adding more resistance against gravity when those knees go up. But don't think that going on your knees is less than. All right. I'd rather you do the knees to really feel those connections. That's what's most important. I hope you see that now, right? Now that we're in week 3, you get the connections and why details are so important. Details is where the magic happens. And I want you to feel that. And I want you to feel that now in everything else that you do, whatever class you jump in. I want you to stop thinking so much about choreography. It doesn't matter. And do what your body needs and connect. And as long as like your intention is correct, I hate the word correct, keep the intention, the integrity of the exercise, right? Like for instance, planks, going down on your knees, it's still keeping the integrity of the exercise. When we do leg circles or roll downs and rolled ups and you're bending your knees, still keeping the integrity of the exercise, but it's maybe making it more possible. All right, so just kind of always working with what's possible and then pushing it whenever you can to see if you've developed more strength or if your body can do something. And just know, as like cut off what I just said, but also know that on some days you can be one way, other days completely different. So maybe you could do the roll up one day, the next day, no, you can't. Your body's screaming at you like, no, it's not happening. And that's okay. Like that's a time to not judge your body because we are different every day. I mean, our body holds emotions. Our body holds everything. It's like the vessel of what everything coming at us is holding. So it's going to hold a lot of stress. And it's not just what you did physically, like, oh, what did I do yesterday? Why is this hurt? That possibly could be it, but it also could be emotionally. It could be how you slept. It could be something that's stressing you out a little bit that, you weren't really aware of. And maybe there is stuff going on that you were aware of, so it's just knowing that there's so many different pieces to the puzzle. It could be something weather-wise, right? That's affecting your body. It's just our body is so intelligent. And we have to just feel grateful for it instead of punishing it and instead of getting mad at it, or frustrated with it. Like just know that it's going through a lot to have us show up every day. So let's treat it kindly. And so when you need to modify something, modify it. There isn't that is like the absolute best thing you could do for your body, because you're listening to it and you're giving it what it needs. All right. So I hope you're enjoying the challenge. Again, keep coming on those comments. I love hearing from you. And I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. To get more out of this challenge, you need to get the Ultimate Pilates Planner. It has everything you need to work from the inside out. So you're going to really work on the mind part of the mind-body connection. You're going to have trackers to keep you consistent and accountable. And my favorite part of this all is you're going to have bonus workouts. So if you don't have time for 20 minutes, you get these quick little 8 to 10 minute workouts to really fit into your day. You're going to get an email in your inbox every day with a journal prompt plus the link to the workout of that day and maybe some other little goodies for me to keep you inspired and accountable. So head over to balanceToTheCore.com/transformin4.